Spread your legs. Clear. Let's go.
What's good, peoples? Welcome back to that season 3. And you know, we couldn't start that season 3 and that West Coast journey without my brother Big U. Facts. So with that being said, do your homework, do your history. You already know we got that one representative of LA. You already know who it is, my brother Big U, man. With that being said, let's get right into the interview, man, because it's legend. You already know. LA, what's good? It's your boy Pistol, that Yard Talk. When you in that Tampa Bay area, make sure you reach out to my boy Gus Torres, man. If you want anything that has to do with real estate, man, make sure you hit him up. You get the lowest prices and the finest houses, man. Trust me when I tell you. But don't forget to mention my name. You already know that Pistol Peter get you that early discount. And that's my brother, man, Gus Torres. You already know, out in the Tampa Bay area. Make sure you hit him up, man. Sell, buy, invest, all that. Make sure you hit him up, man, because he focused with that out there. Tampa Bay, you already know, it's your boy Pistol, man. Get at me. You already know what it is, your boy Pistol Pete, and this is Dog in the Yard. And today, you already know, we got my brother Big U in the building. West Coast. You already know how you giving it up. What's up, Big U?
What's up, bro?
How's everything, my brother?
Man, I'm good, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time I ain't seen you, huh?
Yeah, when we first came home, first picture. I always look at that picture because that blue, what was that, blue Bentley?
GT.
The blue GT Bentley.
I got that shit big.
Yeah,
I got that big. I got a
Mom
big
got that in this house, man. That's cold. That's me. Was it me, you, and Steve?
Me, you, and Steve. Steve was on the driver's seat. We was sitting out.
We was on the side. Yeah, I look at that picture.
Super big clothes on. You see the shit that he had on?
I see that.
I was like, yo,
yeah, but that shit come back, boy. I tell you.
A lot of fun. You know, for those that don't know, me and Big U have a history. You know, as soon as he touched down, I touched down, we licked up. It was all been love since day one. It's my brother for life. You know,
15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's 15 years ago.
Hell yes. And we done been, you know, for those that don't know, we done been Death Row. Let them know a little bit about the Death Row back. Did I win that game or you did?
I won that game for sure.
Yeah, right. Of course.
I mean, it's just like when I played ping pong against Suge. You never know when. You gotta have it recorded, man.
You gotta have it recorded. And that was you definitely with the recorder. You filmed everything.
I got all that footage, man.
That's good, because I'm going to be working on my documentary, so I'm going to be setting, you know, so it's good. Even though we might not, I mean, if we get to use it, but definitely going to set it up so they can come see you and all that, you know, and they're going to get the moments of us playing, you know, Suge and Death Row and all that, you know.
But we definitely, I understand that.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You're a legend.
Yeah. So we got to
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to tell people I know Pete, they like, Pete? You know Pete, the real Pete? It's like...
You know, we cruising since then. You know how we got to stay out here. You know, things change.
We fathers, man.
You know, we got kids. You know, things change. You know, we still who we are. That never changed.
I call you for anything on the East Coast. I call Pete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we still in it. I mean, you know, like, I deal with that shit. I deal with that struggle with that shit every day, just dealing with people just not having the ability to be able to move from up under the cloth where everybody else in. We'll forever be, and that's why I'm glad you're doing this, Dogs in the Yard, because people need to understand where we came from and see where we are. And see our journey is just, we ain't got no period on our journey. Yeah. Our journey's still going.
Word.
It's hard. It's difficult, man, just dealing with, you know.
It's tough as fuck, but we ain't going nowhere. We making it happen.
Oh, yeah.
That's why platforms like this are created. So those ex-convicts and those brothers that had that moment, that never had that voice, they're able to, you know, express their, you know, their situation on this platform for the youth. You know what I'm saying? For those out there that want to, you know, not listen and get ahead on it, but shut up, mom, or, you know, being disrespectful, because, you know, we in a different era.
Yeah.
You know, the kids and all that shit, they tough and they don't respect. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is really, really tough. So, you know, with the hopes that, you know, doing shows like this, you know, it'll open up their eyes, you know, to the point where at least if we could get one that'll be like, oh shit, you know,
I seen that show, and it makes me think about not doing certain shit, because, yo, you see Homeboy, he did 40 years. You know, I done interview people that did a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you look at my show, my shit is crazy. From the intro all the way. Like,
I seen some of them. I seen how in the platform how you giving people to be able to talk.
Yeah.
I love it because in the doc we doing, it's about people coming from nothing back to something. Or motherfuckers happen to hustle. You know what I'm saying? And what hip hop was. And this is a part of hip hop. Just this show alone is a part of hip hop.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I want to get into you know, your where you was born, you know, raised, and your neighborhood, you know what you rep, you know, with your culture, you know, where you how the things that you have did and what caused you to, you know, go to prison, you know, at what age and stuff like that, and the shit that you have to deal with as far as the legal terms.
Right.
It's definitely way different in New York. We don't have a concept of shit. The only reason I know about the shit that y'all go through as far as being gang members in the injunction and all that is because I learned that from you.
Yeah.
From the time that we spent
I think
together.
we was dealing with the gang injunction. When you came out here, it was trying to, it was just pushing.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I remember that shit always stood in my mind.
Yeah, because the homies couldn't even be together.
I remember that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? So
damn, I remember that. It's crazy because they just ruled it. We just wanted court to rule that was all illegal. Yeah. So they had to go back and and then they robbed us again. It was a $30 million settlement that they still robbed and took. And the brothers who got it was supposed to be the brothers who lost jobs or was forced to go to prison just in injunction because it's not a law. It was just some piece of paper. An injunction is supposed to prevent you from doing something that may lead to a law being broken. So there was never a law behind the injunction. An injunction is something that stops this from happening until a court rules that this is illegal, unjustified, or wrong on each way. And they was actually locking dudes up and giving dudes violations based on that.
But they still doing that, right?
Well, no. They got it. They can't use the word injunction at all. Okay. So they can't come and get you and say you with two or more people, you in an area you're not supposed to be in. So they can't use it like that. That was as of 2 years ago.
So what's that if you get caught with a gun and they want to give you 2 years, but the
those are priors.
The injunction comes in and
they get you another 10 on top of that.
Yeah,
that's still there. So the what we have is priors and enhancements. No, that ain't went nowhere. The enhancement for a gun is still different. That's like me, for instance. I went to prison for I had a robbery. I had robbery, kidnap on a police officer, assault on a police officer, and drugs. So I beat all the other part, assault and all that, because at that time, an officer couldn't be a victim in a crime. An undercover officer. So because he was an undercover officer and I pistol whipped him and drug him, once you move a person 6 feet, in California, that's considered kidnap. So there goes the kidnap part. If he's standing in one place and I move you 6 feet,
kidnap.
That's considered kidnap. And then the assault part and the robbery part. So that right there, so then like me, I had to go to prison, what you was talking about, and learn the law. Because I ended up catching another case while in prison on some more officers. And
when all this started transpiring, I mean, at what age and what, you know? Like,
when I started going to jail was 13. 13. For a robbery, 13 for a robbery.
Okay, for the record, when you raised that, you know...
I was raised right here in Crenshaw and Slauson. I was actually born in the Hoovers.
Okay.
My uncle then moved to the 60s on Arlington. And so at that time, it wasn't no rolling 60s in what we consider to be from Western all the way to the water. That area was still like, it wasn't anything over here yet. So when black people started coming east, from East LA to the West, that's when the gangs started coming. So you start seeing Brims come over here. You started seeing the Hoovers and everybody going west. You started seeing that. So we got over here early 70s. It wasn't no rolling 60s yet.
Okay.
And then shortly after that, about 74, 75, the 60s came. But when we came, we already was like little baby kids.
Okay.
We was out all night, 3, 4 in the morning, running the streets, doing what we doing. It kind of was different, but writing on walls, doing that shit. So we already had that. We kind of had that energy. already. So now we coming over here. Then about
At 13, 14?
about a little earlier than that is when the Crips started, the word Crips started getting bigger. So that's about, I say about the fourth or fifth grade.
Mm.
We started hearing about the Crips. We started homies talking about they turning Crips, and we all want to be Crips. So we hearing about if you're gonna be a Crip, you got to get a Crip jacket, and we all like, yeah, I'm gonna become a Crip. And that was before the violence and the negative connotation got to the name.
Mm.
And then I think in the 12th grade, so we about 12 years old. About 12 years old in the 7th grade.
Okay.
In 1979, we get to Horseman. Cause see, even at that time, we still used to say blood.
Mm.
It used to be like young blood or young cuz. You could say that. Everybody said that was a word that all of us used up until 1979. So then that's when the color classification came in.
Mm.
And so around 79 is when you start meeting other people. And you start seeing people from different demographics, because you go from being at a school that may have, maybe 500 kids at elementary, and now you get to a junior high school and them numbers double.
Mm-hmm.
And now you in school with people who's 14, you're in the 9th, because at that age it was 9th, 10th, it was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And so 7th, 8th, 9th, you got kids and people who are older. So now your influences become different. Now you get to experience things. Now you're hearing about they doing car licks. They going around going in cars. They stealing batteries. They making money like this.
So upgrading.
So you start upgrading because you're starting to hear about shit that you had never heard about.
Mm-hmm.
So in your neighborhood, you're like, yo, you just steal a battery and then you take it to Thrifties?
Yeah.
And you can sell it for $35?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Now you like, okay, let me go get a battery if I need some money.
Yeah.
So at the time in LA, man, we was batteries and hubcaps. Because and I know you guys remember too, because it couldn't be a hubcap stay on the corner.
No, that shit is gone by daylight. That shit gone.
Especially if you get all four.
And you get the nice little spoke ones and shit, you know what I mean? This is gone.
So, I mean, we started doing that. We doing a little stuff, a little stealing right there. And you get caught, they take you home. But the mentality is always now, like, it's us versus them. And I think one of the experiences that kind of shaped me was my uncles, being that we was from Columbus, Mississippi. My family was from Mississippi, who all migrated here to the West. They used to always get into it with the police. So my uncles would really be fisticuffed with the police in the front yard.
So that shit is in your blood.
Yeah, well, I watched it. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like on point, like to the point to where they knew everybody in our family name by name. Like, they knew them was the Shelton boys or the Shelton family. And my name ain't even Shelton.
That's crazy.
So that's how I beat a lot of cases, because I am a Shelton, but my mother is the family. So I took on my father's name. So they thought my name was Dante Shelton. Okay. But my name is not Dante Shelton at all. So for years.
That shit helped you out a little bit.
What?
Until they find out.
Boy, until they find out. Man, listen, I used to get pulled over by the police, have my real Crenshaw High School ID, and the police would pull me over, and I'd tell them where I live, because my mother lived in Compton. So I would just tell them I was from Compton, give my mother address, my ID, and they'd put it down. But the whole time, from the Waterworld scaring me days, I was on the run for some real serious shit. But they looking for Dante Shelton.
Yeah, whole different name.
Whole different person, whole different name. The police right there with me. Got us all booked up. And because I had already started an FI card as my real name from Compton, only thing they want you to do is claim a gang. As long as you claim a gang.
That's it.
And I'm claiming a gang, and I'm in there. They got my Crenshaw ID. I got my Crenshaw backpacks. They only know me as that. They don't got no name attachment. I mean, I ran until I eventually got caught in 1982 for, I went to Suge Hall for some robberies, some kidnaps, assaults, attempted murders.
How old you was?
I was 16. So my first case, like I said, was like 13 or 14. I got shot when I was 14. Okay. In a robbery in 1982. You was first time getting shot. Yeah. No, I just told a lie. I told it wrong. We had did the robbery. Right. And we kicking back, and the homie is flashing some money. And some old niggas roll by and try to pull out on us.
Okay.
And we down the street, and we looking like, what the hell? And they kind of go crazy from there. And I end up getting hit in the arm. That was my first time getting hit. It was funny, but yeah, so I think I was like 14 or 15. I don't go to the hospital, none of that. You know what I mean? And moms don't even never find out about that. So this one, I got this one, because it went, at the time, it was because I was smaller, it went through the muscle, in and out. But then it got, as I got older, it got smaller and smaller. But that was my first time getting shot at 14. Then around about a second time, I think I was 17. It was after I got out of Central Juvenile Hall. No. When I went to Central Juvenile Hall, I went for the robberies and all other shit. They put it all in the papers. And I got kicked out of California.
At what age?
What had to be 16 or 17. And then when I get out of Central Juvenile Hall, and I go live with my father. So it was my first time really vibing with him.
In California?
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't gonna release me to my mother no more. Cause they couldn't find me guilty of all the shit. And I don't know how they run it in New York, but in LA, and I think it's like that around the world, you, in your birth, when you get a birth certificate, you are not a ward to your parents. You're really a ward to the state. That's the reason why we are judged by a court of law. And they say judged by your peers, because you actually belong to the state, the state that you're born in. That's why they give you a certain number. It's like a
cause, like the title.
It's a title number. That's what they're giving it to you for. So when when I learned that when I went through that. So because I was a ward to the state because of my crimes, they had the right to either release me to my mother or release me to my father, or they could dub me unfit for society. But I hadn't been convicted of nothing, because none of the witnesses was coming to say none of the shit I did.
Right.
And then they talking about, I suppose I had 2 different names. I didn't have 2 different names. I only had 1 name.
Yeah, they just thought that.
They just thought that. I had never told you I had another name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got caught in a whole nother police department. They didn't know I was actually in jail until maybe about a month or 2 into me being in jail. Then they came back and they hit me with a bunch of different charges. And so at that point, it was like, nah. So that's when it kicked in. So now I end up going to Chicago. I'm living in Chicago. And it was my first time. And I always tell people how when I got to Chicago, man, we got the long hair, and the way we dressed was totally different to how they dressed in Chicago. Right. So when I get out there, man, I'm wearing khakis. I'm getting khakis, dickies, polo shirts. I'm ironing my shit. And to them, it looked like I'm getting dressed to go to church every day. So I get out there. I check in school. I go to Harlem High.
Okay.
And I'm in 11th or 12th grade. I can't really remember. And we throw the hood up like this. So this is how we throw up 6, and sometimes we do this. Okay. And sometimes we do this. Sometimes, we do all this. But back then, that was disrespectful to them. Because if you're throwing down a 5 or you're throwing down a 1, and they looked at it, and this was like vice lords. So if you're throwing down how we throw our hood up to throw the end up, that's disrespecting vice lord. And so, man, I'm in school, man, and niggas is thinking I'm like a surfer. So niggas is like, do you know Michael Jackson? Do you know Arnold? I'm like, you know motherfucking Michael Jackson.
Like, what the fuck?
So nigga, I'm a Crip. You know what I'm saying? And so that was foreign to them. Like, the fuck is that? And I'm like, so years later, that's when I always liked that song with Tupac say, y'all better learn about y'all B's and C's, because these niggas is real G's. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I went out there, because we was a lot more advanced than they was as far as the violence, because we was on guns. And when I got to Chicago, they was still putting locks on belts and whooping motherfuckers with chains.
They running down on you with socks on.
Man, I'm finna to gas your ass up. You know what I mean? Because I was just in a different mentality. And then at that time, because, and it's from a young point of view, and this is like 80, 83, 84. So I'm out there and I'm looking 82, 83, 84. So they just was on a different level. So when I get out there on probation, I end up doing some more robberies because when I get to Chicago, they was still leaving they shit in the windows. Like they was still leaving like boom boxes, radios, and clothes in the windows and putting just the chains on that shit. And I'm like, shit, man, we finna gas up. So I'm teaching my mans and them in Chicago. I'm like, cause I was still in 108. I was still in 118. They missing what? I went and got a truck, put the chains on the truck, snatching the trucks, driving down the street, the gates, unchained that shit. The homeless said, everybody got their bricks ready. We blasting the windows. We going there, snatching everything. Because they were still leaving shit in the windows. And we already had taught them in L.A. like, oh, you better leave nothing in these windows. We was in gun stores then. So the area I lived in, I was on Arlington. So it goes Arlington, 2nd Avenue, 3rd, 4th. Nipsey lived on 5th. And then it keeps going up. Okay. Then you got all our big homies lived on 7th, 8th, and going up. So that's straight down Slauson. So that's why we was like the Slauson boys. Because I'm like, this is Slauson, and then I'm 7 houses from Slauson. Okay. Nipsey on 5th was 4 or 5 houses from Slauson on 5th. So he's 5 blocks from me, where he grew up. And then it goes, that's kind of like the whole hood. So it goes straight down Slauson all the way to Crenshaw. Okay. And then we keep going past Crenshaw. So Crenshaw is like our last main street. Okay. You know what I mean? And that's why Nipsey was really the Slauson boys. I was really Crenshaw because I went to Crenshaw and I pushed Crenshaw first. You know what I'm saying? So like our younger generation was really saying Slauson. Okay. That's why Nipsey didn't have Crenshaw on his back. He had Slauson on his back. You know what I mean? And I was Crenshaw. Yeah, and just like in my neighborhood, they had Cypress boys, just because the neighborhood is Cypress. Well, I'm from Cypress, so they had Cypress boys. They had junior Cypress boys. Right. You know, like the little junior Cypress boys. And then we was like the Cypress boy. Exactly. You know what I mean? I got it. And that's exactly how it was. So what year you went to you went to jail for to the big house, you know, and what I went to the big house in 91. I was right in the ride, December 1991. Like I said earlier, December 1991, a robbery and kidnap on a police officer. And how much time they gave you? Did you come out? Hell no. I went to trial. They banged me. I ended up getting, first sent me 56, then they ended up getting reduced down to 23. At that time, we was doing halftime. Okay. So I should have been home after 11 years. But I ended up catching 3 years and 9 months in the hole. So I did, amongst other time, I did 3 years and 9 months in the shoe. Okay, for those so now you blew trial. You got, what was your census? It was 23. Okay, and them and you served how much time? 13. And them out of 13, you spent 3 years and a half in the hole? I did 3 years and 9 months in the hole, straight. For those that don't know about the hole and all that, the shoe. Break that, the hole is a California shoe. How is running out here? How is that? It's 24 hours, just 23 hours lockdown. And because there's so many motherfuckers, it really turns into a 24-hour lockdown. So how our shoe was ran, because there was so many people in the shoe, you'll do 6 straight days on lockdown, and then they take you out and give you 8 hours straight on the yard. Because California law makes it mandatory that you have to get so many hours out the cell a week. And because they can't give everybody they hour out the cell, so they just do it like they go by the block and they'll take whoever cell 1 through 20 and they put us in these little dog cages. And they're about I used to put it across my touch the wall, and they put it on the yard, and it's really dog kettles. They got little porta potties inside there, and they put you out there, rain, sleet, or even snow, your ass gonna be out there if you want to go out for your yard. So we go out, no underwear. Just your underwear and your flip-flops. And that's all you can take on the yard. Now, if you out there and that motherfucker is freezing, you're going to be out there like that. What caused you to go to the hole, though? What was the reason? Man, I broke somebody. I knocked the dude eye out of socket. So I had caught a great body injury. So one of my homeboys that did some fucked up shit, He ended up coming from the county jail. We get the call, and he trying to justify the situation, and I ended up catching it because it came straight to me. You know what I mean? Which I would have rather it not come to me because I was on my way home. I was at my 2-year mark to come home. So, you know, like me, I done shut the yard down.
Yeah.
I done shut my presence down the yard. I get the yard to the little homie, like, hey, you got the keys to the yard. I'm backing up. I right at my 2-year mark. And you know what it is. Every time, motherfucker always lose a day, man.
Every time you
2 years.
Some shit.
I was 9 years straight in. I had 2 more, but I was coming home.
And boom.
Boom.
So they gave you 3.5 years in the hole.
Yeah, they gave me, it really was since 24 months, but because California, like I say, the prison is so crowded, I ended up staying in there just waiting to be transferred. But what happened for me is I had already fought my time back. And so I really didn't want the guards or nobody else to know when my release date was. So I never applied for all my good time back. And because you know, our niece can look at your card and see, oh yeah, you go home. And that's when they really control you. That's how the guards come in, oh, I'll give you a write-up. They could do all that shit to you. So I never applied for my time back. And I wasn't going to apply for my time back till I got 6 months to the house. You know, I knew in my head what my time really was, when my release date was. So if you looked at my card, my release date still looked like 2015 or some shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm already knowing when the courts changed my date and gave my time back, and then I beat the 115s, I knew, boom, I would get my good time. And see, we did good time out here, so you get a day for day. So if you get 15 years, you only got to do 7 because you can get day for day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the police know you're doing day for day and not 80, 85 or whatever %, then you the ones they fuck with.
And they're really on you then.
They really on you. And I definitely want them to know I was doing day for day because I had all the drugs in the yard. You know what I'm saying?
So you was in there slinging and all that. You was
man,
like,
from day one, man. I've been hustling from day one. I hustled in the thing. You know what I mean?
How you manage? I mean, being a Crip and coming from Crenshaw and going to jail. How's the system with all the rest of the gang members and all that? How that all play out and all that for the people that don't really know how the West carry, how it's done.
It's because of. See, I went early, so I know it, and I'm trying to tell it to you, but it's a long story if I tell it to you. One would be, well, sis, just say that it's not hard for a Crip or a Blood more than it is for anybody else that's not affiliated. And then secondly, it goes down. Like if you a Crip and a Blood, you kind of got it good.
Okay.
And then if you, now where you are, where your gang sits, if you from them real reputable gangs, you sit good. And if you're not, it kind of, it tears down. Then the thing is, then it goes to prison gangs. So they got different prison gangs. They got BGF, they got Blue Notes, CCOs, they got Bloodline, and all the other different gangs.
When you say prison gangs, what that mean? Are they just gangs only in jail?
Yeah, only in jail. Where their influence and their strength is really in jail, not on the streets.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because like when dudes come home, they really kind of roll back what they set or what they video. But in prison, I
never knew that.
Oh yeah, shit. Well, some of this shit go all through all the federal prisons too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I think our gangs influence federal prisons more than anybody else in the other prisons. Our gangs. And California is kind of weird because. It's like certain places you get away with certain shit, and certain places you don't. Like you would think that we had a lot of rabid homosexuality in our prisons, but you really don't, because that's kind of frowned on, and that's likened to George Jackson and all them. So it's kind of different in our prison, like it was when I was young. Because when I was young, when I got there, I was 23, and it was different. You know what I mean? It wasn't like.
It wasn't heavy like now.
No, it's different now. It's crazy.
Super heavy now.
Super heavy.
Yeah.
And I think because the moral fiber of what we do, people as a people is just done went to shits. You know what I mean? And so, like when I got to yard, when I got the captain of the yard, and as a prison I went to, dudes knew what I was on. Okay. So they would know what you can keep and what you can't keep. And then by me being from 60s, the biggest gangs is like the East Coast is the Hoover from the Crip cars.
Okay.
On the yards is the East
Right.
Coast is the Hoover. The Compton Crips, if they moving together, like they CC riders, and then it works like that. Then we're not like one of the biggest gangs in prison, but we more effective in our environment here. So now our numbers then got bigger than where it was when I was younger. So
now they big in prison.
yeah, bigger than it ever was with me, because I used to be on I had a keep away though. I had a keep away from the sticking on the police officer in Calipat. So I had a keep away order where I couldn't be on the yard with more than 3 rolling 60s because they had me as a shot caller.
In jail.
Yeah, so they had me as a shot caller, a staff manipulator, and all this other shit. So I couldn't be around no women. I couldn't work for or be around no women officers. You know. You know what I'm saying? So you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
So back then it was definitely toy, because now it's heavy as hell, like like
cell phones.
All kind of shit
crazy.
going on now. So what year you came home?
I came home 2004, straight out the hole.
Straight out the hole.
Like I was saying, I had applied for my time back.
Yeah.
So what I did was, once I got to the hole, I thought first I catch the case. Remember I told you I was 2 years to the house. So I catch the case, ended up knocking the dude eye out, and just shit really it was my first time even seeing that. And
that shit sound crazy as hell.
Oh yeah, even out, man. I started praying.
Your big ass motherfucker, I believe that shit. I'm like, shit.
Duh, I was shocked myself.
Body and shit.
What? I'm looking at the man with his eyes trying to get up the ground. I'm looking like, fucked up.
Fucked up. Now I got
That's all I'm thinking.
2 years about to go home.
Only way I beat the case is because now in the jail, dude come serve me the paperwork. So by the time I get to the hole, when he comes serve me the paperwork, I write the wrong name on the charge sheet. So when he give me, when you get your charge sheet, slide the charge sheet under the door, read me my memorandum rights. I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, hey, why you had to hit him that hard, man? Did you see his eye, man? That shit is fucked up. So while I'm just talking to him, I just write my victim name, Kenneth Glass. Slide it under there, I'm talking to him. Swear to God, pray to God, man, he leave. When they come back to have my hearing, because you got to have a hearing within 30 days. Yeah. And if you declare that you want to go, if they gonna charge you, they got 31 days to charge you and have you in front of a judge. So I told them I wanted to put it off. I wanted to put the hearing off and put my charge sheet off, my appearance day off. So they thinking that I signed it. Okay, so when they looking at the sign, when they come back to hear my 115 hearing, 30 days later, dude is here on 115 hearing like, nah, man. I was like, what is this for? He's like, no, you was served this. He's like, nah, I would never serve this. So now you got to go get the same dude that's supposed to serve me. He off duty. I'm in the hole. I'm just sitting in the hole trying to pray that I get past this 31 days.
Facts.
When dude come, I'm coming off visit, coming in there, dude, hot as a motherfucker. He like, man, no, motherfucker, you was served. I said, man, I ain't never seen this before. They go to my cell, they tear my cell up. Of course, I done flushed this shit. Up a month ago. So they put me in a stand-up, they put you in a stand-up tank. You know what I'm saying? They mad as a motherfucker. Take me to the hearing anyway. Find me guilty. And say, you smart enough, get your ass back out the hole. They find me guilty anyway, bro. With no 115 hearing. They had the 115 hearing, which is illegal. After 30 days, they go past the 31 days, they had a hearing. I can't now be charged. They still take me he find me guilty at 115 without me being there. Take me to in front of the board, find me guilty, sentence me to Calipatra shoe, and send me on my way. All illegal.
So you have to appeal it.
I had to appeal it. So now, but how long do it take to appeal it? It take me 2 years. Oh, no, hell no. California system's so fucked up, bro. I'm appealing. First I gotta write every appeal you write, you gotta keep a copy of this shit. Right. So if I'm writing it, I gotta write it like 5 times. I gotta send one home to the family, one to the system, and I got to keep one.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no copy machine. So everything I'm writing,
all hand.
I'm writing all 3 of these jargons, and I got to keep a log of this shit. So I'm sitting at home, sitting with wifey, wifey sitting in, and I'm doing all this shit. All from now, I'm gone. I done got the cork and shoe. And that's a whole nother story. So when I'm sitting in this motherfucker, fighting these people, I get about 15, 18 months in, I win the whole case. Now, when I win the whole case, according to my calculations, I got about a year and a half left to do. But I win the whole case, and when I win the whole case, I should be out the shoe now. You got to let me out the shoe. I turn around, I'm like, my 24 months is all the way up. Now they saying they got to find a prison that will accept me because I'm a shot caller. I'm a threat everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? So I sit in there for a year. When I finally filed for get my time back, I get a time augmentation and it says that I'm 30 days over my past, what would be my release date if I get these dates back. So now I'm sending all these letters to my counselor because you know you in the hole, you in the shoe. So in the shoe, you don't see nobody. Only mother you're gonna see is some pissed off guards who working overtime because they did some fucked up shit or got caught. So they don't give a fuck about nobody and nothing. Period.
Facts.
And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, then when I first get to the shoe, and I think this is what people need to understand, what youngsters need to see, is when I first get to California shoe, it's different. It's 24-hour lockdown. I had no books, no TV, no radio, no nothing. A nigga's in the cell. I'm literally in the cell, nigga, damn near about to go crazy. It's the only time in my life that I ever was scared. Because I wasn't scared. I'm in the cell by myself, so I'm scared that I'm gonna go crazy or I'm gonna lose my mind and I'm gonna end up like some of the brothers down the hall. Because I'm talking about, dog.
Picking up cigarette butts and all kind of shit. Lost their fucking
niggas ain't getting nothing in the shoe. You don't get shit. You ain't getting no cigarettes. You ain't getting shit in the shoe. Hell no, you gonna get a couple of suits and everything they give you, everything you buy from the commissary is gonna be open. Your toothpaste, they're gonna take your toothpaste, squeeze your toothpaste into a plastic bag. They're gonna take the chips that they give you, that you buy,
see-through bag,
put them in and you know you're gonna take them and put them in the bag. They'll take your soap, your deodorant, and put it in the separate bags for you. So that's how you living. You know what I mean? And you getting like, how long? That's some sick shit, my nigga. Your toothbrush gonna be this big, and it's gonna be one of them little raggedy.
3 pair of underwears and 3.
That's all you getting. That's all you getting. And if they come in your cell and you got more than that, that's another write-up.
Yeah.
Your mattress gonna be this thick. You gonna get one cover.
That's just tough, man.
And the pillow.
Motherfucker that tell me they go to home for the first time or any and they front like that shit ain't nothing. Oh yeah, this ain't.
Yeah, okay.
You lying like a motherfucker.
Different way of living.
And you go through that through the motions. You start thinking crazy, just like you said. You like, damn, I gotta keep this shit together.
Bro, you know how many people I watch go crazy?
All you do is watching the fucking 4 walls.
That's it. You lose track of time. First thing happens is once you lose track of time, bro, I had to put it together. I made playing cards from the milk cartons. I made playing cards and milk cartons. I made puzzles. I made all that shit. Nigga, I didn't put puzzle together and threw shit down on the ground, wait till it dried, and cut the paper. I mean, you had to do something to keep your mind occupied.
Fucking facts, man.
Bro.
That's the fucking truth, bro.
And then I go to shower. I go to shower one day. I never forget it. I always remember this because I could hear the Laker game. I could hear somebody was playing the Laker game, and Lakers was playing in Portland. And we was going to shower. And the homie Flacco, you know what I'm saying? He was a shot caller for the Mexican Mafia. He recognized me. And he like, you can't really say nothing to no blacks in there, right? So I get back to my
cell. So you can't, what you mean, you can't talk to each other?
No, they can't, we can talk to anybody else, but they be under different instructions. You know what I'm saying? So it's real racism in our prison. So when I get down there, but because I had all the sacks in every prison, I'm the exception to the rule. You know what I'm saying? Because I hustle with them. You know what I'm saying? I hustled with them, ABs, I hustled with all
Everybody,
of them.
hell
I got
fucking
money
yeah.
with all of them.
Hell yeah.
So, my boy, I'm telling you, because Flocko was the one that looked out for me. He knew the officer. He told the officer to get me my TV and my other shit was really helping me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he had knew me from New York. We had came to prison together. And he was like, yeah, man, he said the guy he has to do this next door to me. Dude hit the wall, like, hey, homie, you got a line? Shit, I ain't got no line. Need no line about me to talk to. So when he slinged the shit into the cell, sent me the kite, and I hit the bars. I'm like, yeah, this big you. Did a couple minutes, let it boom. Send me another kite. They send me a line.
Okay.
Send the line down. He like, this Flocko, man, fool, Calipari, man, I know, yeah. And he holler up, and I'm like, he said, you straight? I'm like, yeah. And he like, man, you ain't got a shit in there? I'm like, nah. He get the guards. You know what I mean? To help me file the paperwork, get my shit. I ain't even have a book.
Yeah,
They wouldn't even give me a book, bro. They wouldn't give me shit. You know what I mean? And so basically, when I got that shit, then I filed to get. He gave me something to read about that day or the next day. And bro, I'm saying it because it was really a lifesaver. Like, I don't even know how long I would have been able to go because if you in there, though, you start remembering everything you ever did. Everything your mama said to your cousin, you did to your little sister.
You think about
brother.
all kind of shit then.
Everything dark. You can remember that shit. And you trying to fight for better memories versus rough memories. And like I said, I tell kids all the time, that was when I was most scared in my life. I ain't never been scared of dying. I ain't never been scared of nothing else. I just didn't want to go crazy because I was seeing people really who was solid dudes who these people they had back here. And I'm thinking like, man, how the fuck did you fuck him up? Like, how did his mind get fucked up like that?
They lose their fucking mind.
Lose their mind.
Cigarette buzz in the yard, all kind of shit spaced out.
Spaced out, bro.
That shit is fucking scary though.
Nah, it is.
So when you came home, what year were you? 2004.
2004.
And you've been home since then.
I've been home here 16 years.
No trouble.
I went back for a little something, but I got banged 2 times.
What do you mean?
I got banged. I came home 2004, so I was out 6 months. I went back for like me and my little brothers together. He got caught with. He said he had caught with about 20, 30 pounds of weed, and then I went to jail doing the Nipsey tour because me and Steve had did a deal, and Steve left me up. No, I'm saying.
I was about to say, damn, what the fuck you did?
Nah, man, I went back to jail. We did a contract with Sony, and me and Steve had signed Nipsey. So they gave us $71,000 to go on tour to do the Nipsey tour. So I had a partner of mine who had a mobile home, and I went to him like, look, bro, let me use your mobile home. We finna do this game tour, LAX tour. And he's like, cool, go ahead and do it. But the whole time, the mobile home was on the hot sheet, and they had been looking for the mobile home. And so, but we don't know it. So I registered the mobile home in my wife's name, and Steve put the insurance on the mobile home in his name. We on tour, we go on tour, and almost every other state we get to, they hitting us. They pulling us over, they doing all kind of shit. One day we get somebody to say, yeah, man, me and Steve is at the hotel, we taking a shower, and somebody comes say, yeah, man, the police got Nipsey on the bus. That's on the mobile home. And I think it was me, Steve, shortstop. We all, we rush to get dressed, we run over there, and I come on the bus, and they got Nip on the bus. I mean, y'all got to get off my fucking bus. This is private property. Get off the bus. And they like, no, we talking, no, you ain't gonna talk to him in here. So get him off the bus, boom. Then we leave Portland, and we on the road, we just moving. So I can't remember exactly where it was, but they did some sabotage shit. They took the bus, demobilized the bus, took the radiator cap out of it. And I can't remember it all the way accurate, but Steve probably can tell you. And so we ended up getting stopped. So we calling everywhere for somebody to come get the mobile home to fix the mobile home. When they come to get the mobile home, it's the feds. They come get the mobile home, take the mobile home, it's all in the paperwork. This is how we know everything that they did. So they take the mobile home apart from the rooter to the tutor. Now we stuck somewhere in between on the tour route. I say, fuck this. Jump on the plane, me and Hop, and go back home. Mm-hmm. They finally get the mobile home fixed. Steve and them get on the road. They take off. Steve and Nipsey. I ended up when I get home, they bang my house, thinking that my house is dude house and I'm dude and my wife because she registered mobile home. And they thought I was him. So when I end up going to jail, me and my wife. So now when I get out, I'm like this, like, why y'all acting all funny? They asking Steve for the paperwork. They asking Sony for the paperwork. They need a lease to show that we was leasing it and that this was the movement. Right. And then Steve and Nipsey acting like it's just major caper. So that's why I left music. That was really how I left music. And if you look at it, like, if you see where at some point in our music venture, you only see Steve and Nipsey together. Mm-hmm. You kind of really don't see me no more. And niggas didn't really know why I had left, but I'm like, shit, if these niggas is panicking like this over some shit that ain't serious, and we in a hip-hop game, what if we knock down some motherfuckers?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I love Steve death, but I'm like, I gotta get away from this. And we weren't making no money then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they made no fucking sense.
So make no sense. Then I started managing Ving Rhames. So I'm managing Ving Rhames. Okay. And I'm doing I did about 6 or 7 movies with Ving. Okay. So I wrote some movies. I went from managing Ving, I went from Nip to Ving. And I'm probably making with Ving about 200 a year.
I remember when you wrote this, young.
Yeah, he was young.
We came out in the movie and everything. Me and Nick.
Exactly.
I tried.
I tried movie.
Yeah, we had a lot
first
of
time we cast it over there. That was my first movie.
Yeah, we had a lot of fucking fun, man.
That was my first movie. Steve made that happen. Yeah. Steve put that movie together, bro. Yeah, he did. Yeah. That was my boy.
Fuck, man.
But that shit, that really, because what was crazy, and I always tell people this because Steve was the only person who took a chance on a thug and put me in a room. I said us. And put us in a room with motherfuckers in a suit and meant it. Like, because Steve's mentality was like, oh, you want to deal, but you don't want to deal. We don't want to talk to him. Mm-hmm. You want to know him, but you don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, like what kind of shit is that?
You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because, like I said, when I went and got Steve, it was because people wouldn't deal with me. Mm-hmm. And then they wanted to deal with Steve. Mm. And then they didn't want to deal with Steve. Because Steve was dealing with me and Pistol Pete. So they're like, Steve got all the thugs.
Fuck, you got all people. You got these motherfuckers. You trying to put these niggas in the game.
Yes. They was a kill Steve. Man, let me tell you. I got one more story to tell you, right? And it goes to me and you. Because I remember when we first got Nipsey, right? Mm-hmm. And I went to Steve. And then Steve said, I could get him signed. Steve was excited all the way to the T. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, cool, we're finna get him signed with Koch. Steve take it to Koch. They turned it down. Mm-hmm. He sounded too much like Snoop. We got an album we finna do. Oh, we got the Death Row catalog. Ooh, all this shit we hear. Mm-hmm. 6 months later, Sony signs him to Epic. Guess who gets the deal? The distribution deal, front-end distribution deal first. On the urban side, Koch.
Yeah, of course.
The same motherfuckers who turned him down. Mm-hmm. Now we got to go right back to Alan Grunblatt. Yeah. And I'm saying, remember you turned Nipsey down? Mm. But that's how it was, though. And then, bro, I'm talking about just being a nigga from out of prison because that's all everybody was hearing. Like it was so daunting to me because all this rap shit at the time was about niggas going to jail and niggas being thugs and niggas being Crips and Bloods, niggas sea walking and all this shit.
So we came home at the right time.
That's what I'm thinking.
Me too.
But they really didn't want to see it.
Fuck no, they was just rapping about that shit. They want us around though.
They was just rapping about it. That's really all it was.
That's all it was.
All the fuck it was, man.
So you started filming. I mean, you started managing the actor.
No, I started managing Ving. Nipsey was signed to me. I never managed Nipsey. People always say I managed him. No, I didn't. Nipsey was signed. Nipsey, Aramis Astrodome is signed to me, Unique Music. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I still to this day own 25% of publishing, I think I own 25%, Steve owned 5% of publishing on our contract. There was exercise in 2010. 2009, 2010 for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I own that to this day. I just ain't did nothing on it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was never managing nobody.
Okay.
I only did the management part. Well, my actual contract read that if ever I stopped, because Steve didn't manage, because at the time we didn't need no manager. We were doing everything to bring him to bring him to light. You know what I mean? So, and if you know what a production company is, company, we really act as everything until a person has something built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
same shit I did with Killer Rat. Signed up 4 local guys from the corner that rap. Gave us deal with Koch, with Adam Grown Black. Came out with that same shit.
Same exact shit. But see, people don't understand that. So they be thinking that I really came in as a manager. I didn't come in as a manager.
Right.
I only did that also at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We needed to.
Yeah, because we needed
the process
to.
And all that.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
We do it all if we need to. I mean, we just need the opportunity to do it all.
And then sometimes that don't come, man.
Fucking no.
But I mean, shit, we can't be, man. We 16 years in.
Shit, we home. You've been home since then. You've been helping a lot of kids out, doing a lot of football stuff. Could you tell us a little bit about all the good stuff that you've been doing?
So I got Developing Option is one of the biggest nonprofits as far as African Americans in LA. So I've been blessed with an organization. So like I said, when I left the tour and I went to jail, I really just got back and only just started doing Developing Option. It was a wake up call to me as of sorts. You know what I mean? So after doing all that time, then you take that hit. I had some other little shit going too. So that really was like a wake-up call. Like, nigga, wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really kicked back. And I started managing Ving. Ving gave me a great opportunity, man. And alhamdulillah, thanks to Ving. And I started doing that, and I started doing Developing Option harder. So that was me taking my energy and putting it into kids in the organization. We had a football program. We have an after-school program. We've been blessed to have over 8 kids make it to the NFL through our program. Yes, sir. We have, yeah.
Let's give it a big deal. That's what's up. We love it. We love it. Keep going.
Yeah, and I got over 100 and some kids that graduated from college that came through our program.
We love that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That's super respect, super. You know, you my brother. I love you anyway, but I'm just saying though. But I love that you doing that.
Oh yeah, we doing it, man. We still doing that. I got all kind of awards from the governor's office, from the mayor's office, just for the work we've been doing. Because since I've been home, we've been instrumental in dropping the gang violence down from Crips and Blood. And I gotta credit. You know, again, I always got to go back to credit Steve and Nipsey from that for helping to do that, because it took Nipsey to see the vision. And the things that I wanted to do and not go out and disrespect other sets.
Okay.
And Nipsey got it from Gate. And I would like to say that Steve got it, Nipsey got it, that made it the team have it, and we was able to blur the color lines in a major way in LA. And that was the first attack that people see. You know, if you can't wear red, if you can wear blue, if you can't do certain things. And that was the one thing that we went out and we set out to change. And them guys helping to see my vision helped to change that. You know what I mean? And that has helped LA in a major way. In a major, major way. You know, and so we don't see the violence and the killing like we used to see in LA. Right. It gets that. We of course we got spikes because when I left, it was probably 25% gang members, and the rest would be affiliated. Now it's the rest gang members, probably 25% that's not gang members and affiliated.
It's different now.
It's totally different. And I'm glad that people not at the way we was. You know what I mean? We still got the violence.
Yeah,
we still got brothers dying, but not the way
it used to be.
It used to be constant shit.
Right.
And
attention all the time and all that. Everywhere you go, you gotta really, I mean, we on point anyway, but still, the extra look and shit all the time and all that.
Yeah.
And what you wear and all that too.
Yeah, anyway, that's the key.
That's the key, because that was kind of, for me, my concern is like, well, I gotta make sure, you know, I wear the right shit, but when I ever came out here, you know, I'm only gonna fuck with you.
Right.
Or Simon, you know, so I don't really you.
Right,
so I'm good. I'm with you. I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want to wear.
And that's how it is. We wear everything.
We wear everything.
I'm just gonna wear red, blue, and so I do a lot of speaking, a lot of different places, right?
Okay.
And really, I try to help people understand that you got to start it at home. Like my sons, I made sure my sons knew Simon. And I made sure my sons knew other different Bloods and Whack and all these dudes, because I want my sons to understand that you don't even know where your enemy is until he tell you. Like, I got to ask you where you from to find out if you my enemy or not.
Ain't that some shit?
How fucking serious could that be?
Shit.
Like, if you can't walk in the room and I just know I'm supposed to hate you or I don't like you, then goddamn it, how do I hate you? I got to find an article of clothing or something that you tell me that, well, what about when I take this shit off and we ass so naked in the cell, you know what I'm saying? The people telling us when we can eat shit, piss, and you get it then? And so, you know, I'm happy at that. Like right now, our program is still going, man. My last group of kids I coach for my Pop Warner team, because we kind of take them up. Like, I'll get them at 5 years old and I'll coach them all the way up. They all finna graduate.
Wow.
I got a graduating class. My oldest son is, my youngest son is finna graduate from Reno, Nevada. And it's 5 of them that came through. That's just the team that I coach. So 3 of them about to graduate.
The oldest son.
My oldest son is 30.
I mean, because I remember your kids. I came to your house, of course.
Yeah, you remember Mike. You remember Mike. He's 32. And my youngest is just turned 21.
My son 32 too.
No, he about to turn 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, he about to turn 21. Yeah, we some old heads, man. But you know, we can say that we did it, man. We can say that we can say that we really gave back.
You really some old heads.
How many grandkids you got? 2. I got 4. Man, my grandson is 11 years old, 5'9".
Damn. Is he into what you got him?
He playing basketball. I'm driving tomorrow to a tournament. I'm driving tomorrow to Arizona to a tournament for 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we on that. He on the traveling basketball team. But this dude 5'9". Wear a size 12 shoe. 11 years old, wear a size 12 shoe. His arms is this long. Hands on his
He gonna be something.
But you know the thing about him is, man, he damn near a genius. Like
Oh, that's good.
He hard on the computers. He schoolwork is done and
he focus with that.
Oh man, he different. You know what I mean? So he'll be one of them kids, because I don't put the burden on kids to use sports to go to the pros, but I do put the burden on kids to use sports to go to college.
Okay.
See, my thing is this though. To me, every kid should use that avenue to go to college and get something out of college.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because we know that there's only 3,500 kids that play NFL football. It's less than that play NBA football. And it's middle round with those who play baseball. So you got a better chance of being a rocket scientist than you do of making it to the NFL. And making a quarter of the money they make over the span of their 30 years of working as a rocket scientist, and that you would make as a 7 to 10 year player in any of these sports. You know what I mean? So, but what I try to tell kids and parents mostly is that this is a tool to get an education.
Facts.
So you can, if you change it to think about that, no matter what, I'm gonna be able to get an education. And I like to tell parents it's important that you go and take that red shirt year. Because, I mean, and I'm talking to really kids who got super athletes. You want the kids to take the red shirt year because it works and helps you in 2 ways. You get 4 paid years of college. If you take a red shirt year, your first year in there, you now get 5 paid years. Let the kid take a red shirt year, be at school without having a burden of education and football, or education and whatever sport they're in, that's hampering them. Okay. Because it's a struggle to come from the lackluster education we're getting in the inner cities in New York, LA, to now going to a school, you know what I mean, where they don't have the time to babysit you. So it's a struggle. Most of our kids, because of the lack of education we get, the level of education we get, are going to be challenged when they get to college. But if they know they're going to take that 1 year to focus on the first year of school, and whoever the parent is can give them that assistance and make sure they have the tutors and all that while they're not doing that sport, Then they got 4 years to be great. And then be able to deal with school, sports, and all that. You got 4 years to be great.
So all your kids, you got to focus.
Red shirt years. Everybody, you're taking a red shirt year. I don't care if you don't take it the first year, you take it the second year because you need that red shirt year to be able to focus on education. So that's what I do. So my kids, I want them to come back and be police officers, mayors, governor. You got to come back and get involved in the community like I was and how I met you guys. You know what I mean? Like you got to come back and give back. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So I'm a proponent. If you want to change the system is broke, then change it within. You know what I mean? That's my philosophy.
And what you think about, one last question, what you think about jail reform? Is it necessary? Do we need it?
Well, it's different in different states. Because California is, because I can give you the history on that, right? California is different because our jail system is really about profiting. It's about money. The original system of incarceration for African and minorities was really just about a kind of slave and keep them working. They actually found a way by getting money from the federal government to actually fund those states and fund and develop cities. So we know that cities get money from the cities and states get money from the federal government by education, crime, and medical health, right? And anything else deals with like fires and whatever natural disasters. We have fires in California. Certain places are storms and other places floods, different things. So those are the things that's guaranteed to get money. But when we send our congressmen and all these other people from different states, their job is to get the taxes money back that we pay as tax citizens to the federal government. Well, California was the master of the prison institutions. So we built a prison complex, and that was our major way to run on crime. Okay. So that's why you started seeing a dude catch possession for sales, and then possession for sale only carries 4 years no matter what. Yeah. You can't change the law. So they started creating enhancements. So if you got caught one time with possession, now you right. And if you get caught again, they can give you another 5. So now, if you get caught with only carry, the original charge to it is 1, 3, and 4. Yeah. But then they started creating these enhancements. So then California started creating enhancements for everything. No matter what, spitting on the ground became an enhancement. Then they got tired of enhancement. They created the 3-strike law. Right. And then the 3-strike law was a way for each state to start running on this fear of crime, this lock them up, and crime is growing. So now you get major prison complexes who are now investing money into Channel 7 News and all these different news to run that and scare the people that crime is continuously growing and crime is this and these are this. And you only run in certain stories about the inner city community. So now if you would think that people only die within the inner city, you wouldn't think that nowhere else that white people are dying. You think white people are living forever. Like they ain't never killing each other, fighting each other, shooting. They're not doing none of that. Right. And you only think that's happening in our community because that drives California's prison complex. So you go down to and you see California makes per inmate that stays in these little cities. So let's deal with Lancaster, city of Lancaster. So they'll build a prison in Lancaster. That prison will then employ 1,500 people from that community. No, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. That prison employs 600 people in some kind of way. 600 people live in that community. So now they're developing small white communities, and they're not farmers no more. They can't make money farming. They get these jobs as COs, and now they live in the towns. Now you're developing.
Same thing they do upstate New York.
But see, then with us is I don't really know, but I know we got more land for them to build prisons on out here. That's the reason why we double every state in prison institutions. You know what I mean? We double everybody. And they make more money. So California was the first one to start doing private prisons. Private prisons, like investment prisons. How in the fuck do you come up with a concept of private prisons? That tell you right there, the system is broke. Yeah. So the feds, under the Republicans, I'm sorry, were the first one to start rejecting the idea of paying private prisons. So some 4 years ago, I'm all over the place because there's so much more. I'm trying to just hit you with the points. But the laws start changing, and the private prisons are now suing California because they had a 50-year agreement with these prisons that they would continue to run on the system of locking people up. Right. Well, California is now changing that philosophy to saying to try to introduce recidivism. That's only a concept, right? Because now they're saying that the Fed's not going to give you money for locking motherfuckers up no more. That's really coming from the Republican-run House, right? And I mean, it's just the reality of it. Because our Democrats in California have always ran on locking motherfuckers up. They have always ran on that. So California is a Democratic state. Right. Why does California, if it's for minorities, Democrats are for minority, how does your state lead in more prisons? And then we as people, minorities, got to fucking figure it out. Right. Like the system ain't right. And it ain't right because we've been running under this so-called, I mean, but you know, we got to figure the math out.
We don't think that shit been running the same way so long. We think that shit was like legit.
And it's crazy because like me, myself personally, after going to prison and really going to prison for a crime, I really should only carry 4 years because I got 4 years for possession, 10 years for the kingpin enhancement law, the amount of drugs, 5 for a gun. Then I got another 10 years on top of that for possession for sales. And none of this carried what the case carried.
Yeah, shit done changed.
Everything is just all the enhancements on top of the possession for sales because I beat the robbery part and I beat the assault on the police officer part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I beat the kidnap. So now I'm stuck with the 4 years for this and I got found guilty of a gun and a robbery, which it was never a gun. So it's just really California has ran on a lock them up mentality.
Yeah, that's it.
And so now the feds, not California, the feds have said, we're not going to continue to fund your prisons. And it's a fight they've been doing. They started doing that before I got out of prison. 2004, I got out 2004. So the feds have said they was going to deal with California overcrowding before I came home. This was a conversation that was going on. They just now starting to do it. So what California did was they don't want to let all the inmates go because they make too much money. So if you release your inmates, this is money California cannot get from the federal government.
Yeah, of course.
So if you and now you got all these different places, they got all these different prisons, money's not coming in that area no more. So what do? You lock motherfuckers up for the simplest, dumbest crimes.
Crossing the street.
Cross the street. Oh, you crossed the street too many times. Well, guess what? He's a gang member. This is the key to this conversation. He's a gang member. So when they came with the gang enhancement, going back to what we was talking about with the injunction, so how that works is they started making gang banging like this ultimate growing crime. So here's how they did it and how we finally got the law changed.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
They said, okay, if Big U whoops his son, and Big U gets charged with that, guess what? That was a gang member who assaulted his son. If Big U gets into it with his girlfriend, it's a gang member assaulted in his girlfriend. If Big U gets in trouble for picking up a t-shirt, it's a gang member. So they started piling every crime that happened that a person did, they called it gang related. So now when you look at the numbers, what do you see? These fucking gang members are out of control.
Yeah.
Gang members are doing this, gang members are doing that. They start doing it everywhere. New York, LA, every time you get caught, they consider it a gang-related crime. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they start whooping it. Now they getting them money because now you got all this gang task force, because everything. So in California, we start trying to make them, we're still doing it, to classify everything what it is.
Right.
If it's not gang-related, don't call it a gang crime.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here, it seems like they just want to do that on everything.
They got to fill the prisons up.
Yeah, shit is...
You got a contract with private prisons. We was locking up so many people in prisons. California had a contract with other states to send them prisoners.
Ain't that some shit?
Yes, yeah, man.
From all over the...
From here, from California state prisons,
just send them.
we send a portion of our prisons to Mississippi. There's Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and all the different states. Right now to this day. They just stopped it. Because the feds are saying we're not gonna give y'all no more money for these prisons if y'all don't get it right.
Well, man, With that, man, I guess this is it, man. With you, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate
All the
you, my
time.
brother, man. You know, appreciate you for life, man. You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete, that dog in the yard, that yard talk with Big U. You already know, West Coast. You already know, legends. Get at it.
The unique way.
Exactly, the unique way. You see it.
You see?
Yes,
The unique way, babe.
we don't do this anywhere. We just do it out here. We out here in the hood. You already know with the big homie.
Yeah, we on Crenshaw. Goddamn it.
Let's get that right. You already know it's your boy Pistol. Dog in the yard. Yard talk. Welcome back, man. You already know that third season. Dog in the yard. Yard talk, man. I mean, I told you guys, man, we're not playing with you guys, man. We're not playing. We coming. You already know this third season. West Coast journey is going to be crazy. And I want to thank my brother, you already know, Big U, for making it happen, man, and being a part of it. You already know, man. And with that being said, man, don't forget, check out my merchandise, man. We got super merch. All you need, hats, T-shirts, you got it, man. All you got to do is just get on that, click on it, and you already know how we giving it up, man. It's your boy Pistol, that yard talk, man. You already know. West, West, West. Big U, what up?
Splash. 1, 2. This is a step. This is how gangsters do it. Splash. Step. 1, 2. I'm in a whole lot of songs, they look like colonoscopes. I got the white for the white boy that's sniffing the shit, then he ski down the slopes. I got the can for that lady that thinks she could take it, but know that she can't. I got that work for that work that's gonna work right after it works. Look, I put